morning to just before 9. Will be joining us just before 9 o'clock this morning to tell us all about it.
Got to ask him about the Masked Singer as well and Blob.
Yeah.
I called him the Blob earlier, but it was just Blob, wasn't it?
He was just Blob.
Yeah.
And he finally had to unmask himself this weekend, didn't he?
Take it off and all that business. Oh, that's what they shouted at the minute. I wasn't shouting at you. It's 32...
Sometimes it's just best to say nothing, isn't it? And
yes.
just let you do the work yourself.
Fall into the pits of despair. Thank you, Louise. Now, you probably heard the phrase, happy as a pig in muck, but what about a panda in snow?
Oh, you may have
smile
seen...
on everyone's face, doesn't it?
It's what we need. 7:33. As we've been hearing, urgent tests will be offered to thousands of people across England after cases of the South African coronavirus variant with no link to travel were detected. Let's talk to the...
It is fast approaching 7:45 this morning. If you're waking up to snow or you're seeing snow on your local bulletins, then Carol's going to have a full weather report for you in about... When's Carol here normally? I can't remember.
10 to.
Oh, not too far away. Right now, though, we're talking to Sally. I lost my track of time in there, Sal, until Carol turns up.
7:46. Oh, goodness me, there's lots going on today, isn't there, Carol? Morning.
Keep an eye on it all for us. We'll see you again in about half an hour's time.
In a few minutes' time, here on Breakfast, we're going to be talking our series on lockdown life. And today we have Darcey Bussell.
Dame Darcey Bussell.
We've got some... she's going to give us some exercises too. We can apparently do them sitting down.
Oh, perfect for us.
OK.
Good. Ben is here this morning. Ben doesn't have exercise for us, but he does have news about a crackdown on companies that offer unregulative lockdown life. Yeah, this has been a very popular series with many of our viewers and many of you this morning because we've had some familiar faces give us some hints and tips for surviving at home. And
today is the turn of former Strictly judge Dame Darcey Bussell. Let's have a look at her in action.
Good morning.
Wow, indeed. And Darcey joins us now. Oh, lovely to see you. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You speak, but should we just, for everybody who's watching, how have you been coping with lockdown? But should we just, for everybody who's watching, how have you been coping with lockdown? The card game, because I've been trying to sell this card game, not sell it, Sing Demon, and it's super competitive.
She talks about it every morning, Darcey, basically. For the explanation of this, it does seem quite complicated, but good fun, and everybody needs their own pack of cards, don't they?
You just need your own way to get through it, don't you?
Have all your own pack
So I feel there's a programme in here somewhere, but you're not only... you've been mentioning that you've been doing a bit of exercise as well. So, and Louise was saying earlier, when we were talking about having you on the programme, you've got like a seated... few exercises that people can do while they're sat down for us this morning.
Down, you do get really tight in your body, so it's really important. So a couple of things just to start with, just so you're trying this at home.
Yeah, we are trying this. We are trying. Oh, yeah.
Lovely. And it's just loosening off to start with. Rotation in the torso, which of course we really need. Again, just swinging the arms across the body and behind you. Remember that back arm as well.
I don't think I've ever ironed a tablecloth, Darcey, but carry on.
Pilates, I've done this all my life.
Yeah.
But it's for everybody, and then you kind of just swing it. So you're going across the body, and that's a great rotation. I'll just do 4 slow over the head and forward. You just swing the arm underneath you. It's great for coordination as well.
Very good. It's a bit like Mr. Miyagi, this. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, get on with it.
Darcey, yeah, we're going to have to leave you now. That's been really very lovely. That's it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. See you soon for a game of Racing Demon when we're allowed.
Thank you, Dame Darcey Bussell. Look at that. Card games with Dame Darcey.
Hi.
And upper body exercises. I feel a bit loose. Do you feel a bit looser?
I'm really not. I'm really hoping she doesn't look back and see how rubbish we were. But I enjoyed it. It was lovely.
Yourself,
Thanks, Darcey.
Stay with us. We've got the headlines coming your way in just a moment. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Louise Minchin and Dan Walker.
Our headlines for you, 8 o'clock. Good morning to you. Tuesday, the 2nd of February, urgent tests are being offered to 80,000 people in England after cases of a new South African coronavirus variant were found with no links to travel.
People across 8 areas are being asked to take tests, whether they have symptoms or not, after the government said the UK must come down hard on the variant. Andy Moore has the details. Captain Sir Tom Moore's family are with him in hospital after he was admitted with coronavirus on Sunday.
The 100-year-old was taken to Bedford Hospital after requiring help with his breathing. Some enjoyment, as I said, from the snow. Not for everyone, though. And, Carol, there really is quite a lot of it around today, isn't there? What are the conditions like? Morning. Oh, thank you very much for taking us through it all. Thank you.
We've just been live, haven't we, outside the hospital where Captain Sir Tom Moore is at the moment in Bedford. And obviously we wish him and his family all the very best at the moment. He's one of the amazing people that we've met during the past 12 months on this programme. Another of those is 91-year-old Holocaust survivor Ziggy Shipper.
You might remember last year I visited Ziggy at his home to hear his story, and then I went and lit a candle at Auschwitz on his behalf. Over the past few months, Ziggy has lost his wife, the love of his life, Jeanette, and he's also suffered a heart attack. But for all of us, he has a message of hope, as I've been finding out.
It must have been lovely to catch up with him and his family again.
He's such a charmer, too.
Yeah.
No, it was and even though, you know, it's really, we do live in very strange times, don't we? But even if you do sort of talk on over the internet or on Zoom, whatever, it's just really, it was really low. It was wonderful to
Yeah, well, I know he
up.
made a big impact on you, didn't he?
Yeah,
last year?
absolutely.
So being able to just check he's okay and see how he's getting on, it'd be. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that this morning as well.
Absolutely. During the late 1950s and early 1960s, the Ladybird picture books were a huge success and inspired a whole generation of young nature lovers.
More than 60 years later, the popular Four Seasons books have been updated so that they're more relevant to today's children and the natural world around them. Wendy Hurrell has been taking a look.
Just reminiscing here about the Peter and Jane, the Ladybird, but you've still got yours, have you?
Yeah, my mum, she's a good collector of stuff we used to play about with when we were younger. I think we passed them on to nieces and nephews. Well, it did say at the end of that piece it feels a bit like spring. It didn't feel like that this morning. Waking up in Sheffield to a couple of centimetres of snow, and Carol's been telling us all morning
I think there's a lot more than a couple of centimetres in some places, isn't there?
Yes, some dangerous driving conditions out there at the moment.
Take care. Carol will be here with us in about sort of 15 minutes' time to give us more details on that. Right now, the news, travel and the weather wherever you are.
Hello, good morning. You're watching Breakfast with Louise and Dan this morning.
Morning Live is on BBC One straight after breakfast, and as ever...
See you later. They're on from 9:15 this morning. He'll be really annoyed at that as well. Magnificent.
Excellent. So Ben's got more details on something we've been talking about throughout the programme, about a crackdown on companies that offer some kinds of unregulated...
You've been sending in some of your pictures for us this morning. And looking ahead at what's been happening with the weather. Morning, Carol.
Thank you very much for today as well. Thank you.
I hope to see you tomorrow, Carol. If I'm not here, you know why. All right?
Yeah, well,
we'll come and dig you out, Dan.
What will I do? Sit in the middle of the sofa or something? I don't know.
Yeah, you sit.
I'll work it out.
You can do it all on your own, please. Might just ring in and say, can't come in today, snow day.
See how I do. 8:46. Now, if there was ever a time when we all needed a bit of a laugh, it's pretty much now, isn't it?
Yeah. Help is at hand. This year's Red Nose Day. Humour is always at the heart of the fundraising event, but it's never been as important as it is at the moment. And some pretty big celebrities are explaining why. Isn't it? Delighted to say we're joined now by Comic Relief co-founder Sir Lenny Henry, who joins us on BBC Breakfast. Thank you for joining. As we heard there in the video, Lenny, it's so important, isn't it? And we are all going through difficult, strange, weird, probably times we won't experience again. And yet, laughter becomes probably more important than ever before.
You've got. I imagine when you and I bet you do some of these phone calls as well. When you phone up Dame Judy, do they just say, "Yeah, we're in. We'll do it for you"?
Point did you think? Do you know what? This is going to work and it's going to run for some time. Was it before the actual event when you sort of the enthusiasm for it, or was it on the night itself, or was it afterwards?
You know, the great British public are staggering in their generosity, aren't they?
Joined live on the programme by Dame Darcey Bussell, and we've been talking to various stars about how they've sort of how they've been coping with things. She's been playing a card game called Racing Demon and doing a bit of skipping in her household. You've been entertaining yourself in a slightly different way. I think we can show some pictures. Many people have seen you on The Masked Singer.
The singing, even under all that enormous costume.
For it, because we had Glenn Hoddle on a couple of weeks ago, and he said he was singing in the bath, you know, singing in the shower, singing in the kitchen, but he never practised with a cardboard box on his head. And he, of course, was he was like the grandfather clock, wasn't he? So did you ever get to practice in the outfit, or was it obviously very different singing with that on your head? Watch this programme, listening to you now, I'm thinking, what on earth is Sir Lenny Henry talking about, singing on stage with a sausage?
Of course, everybody joining in for Comic Relief. I mean, we don't know at this point whether it's March 19th, isn't it? How many schools will be open to all pupils? So you've got plans to kind of help people out if they're not, you know, we just don't know where we're going to be, do we?
About the sketch with Frank Bruno right back at the start. Is there one sketch or one programme that you've been involved in that you feel had the biggest impact, or maybe the one that made you laugh the most?
Join in. I will definitely join in.
Sir Lenny Henry.
You say big thanks. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sir Len. See you later on. You're watching BBC Breakfast. The time is 8:59. Look at the latest headlines for you on this Tuesday morning. And door-to-door testing of 80,000 people in England will start today to detect cases of the South African... So some of the main stories this morning. We'll be speaking to the stars of Step Up to the Plate, which is a fantastic... second series, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Fred Sirio and Allegra Macavidi is going to be here in a moment. But first, a last brief look at the headlines wherever you are this morning. Hello, everybody. Now, take a group of kids, set them to work in a busy restaurant and uncover the top talent of the future.
I love this show. That is the idea of the CBBC show Step Up to the Plate, where presenters Fred Sirio and Allegra Macavidi seek out promising chefs and waiters. Lovely.
We both love it. Yeah, it's called Step Up to the Plate. We are both CBBC watchers today and every Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
I watched it on the iPlayer. That's what I'm saying.
Also can be done.
Yeah, that's all from today. We'll be back tomorrow from 6. We'll be joined by the singer Celeste.
Right now, though, it's time for Morning Live. Morning.